I didn't cause it, but I was there. So were thousands of others, and somehow it became no one's fault. The worst crimes in history weren't always hidden. During World War II, the trains to the death camps ran on schedule. Deportations were listed in town bulletins. Camps rose behind wire fences just beyond the village trees. And still, many said nothing. Many followed orders. The collective continued on. Psychologists call this the bystander effect. The more witnesses, the less likely any one person is to act. The more visible the crisis, the harder it becomes to know who should move first. Today, Gaza is starving. The hospitals are collapsing. Children are dying from malnutrition, not just bombs. And the world knows there are no secrets, only saturation. UN warnings, front pages, viral images. We are not witnessing history repeating. We are watching it unfold together. What happens to guilt in an age of mass spectatorship? What happens to moral clarity when responsibility is so widely shared it can no longer be located? In groups, something strange happens. We become less certain, less urgent, less responsible. Consider the classic experiments. People administered what they believed were painful electric shocks simply because an authority figure told them to. Others denied the evidence of their own eyes, conforming to a group's wrong answer. We've seen countless instances of individuals passing by someone in distress, assuming someone else will intervene. We don't need to be cruel to allow cruelty. We only need to defer. To think someone else will step in, someone more qualified, louder, closer. This is not moral failure, it is a design flaw in collective behavior. Responsibility diffuses, judgment gets passed like a baton, until eventually it just vanishes. Online, these same group dynamics accelerate. A scandal, a screenshot, a wave of outrage. Everyone contributes a little, no one quite claims it. The internet made it easier to speak. It also made it easier to disappear inside a crowd. Call-outs, cancel culture, hashtag trials, but where does responsibility begin? With the first post? The 300th share? The code that decides who sees what? These are the questions that evaporate when judgment becomes a group sport. Carl Jung once wrote, "The bigger the crowd, the more negligible the individual becomes, but the more dangerous too." And elsewhere, the nation has no conscience. It can be held accountable, but it cannot feel remorse. Only the individual can do that. Collective guilt lingers, but without a face, it has no center. It accumulates, but never lands. In nations, in institutions, in classrooms, it allows harm to continue not because people don't care, but because they're unsure what caring even looks like when everyone is watching. In a hyper-connected world, we've built soft exits. I was just one voice. I didn't design the system. I just reposted. These are not confessions. They are gestures of distance, cultural reflexes designed for gettings. But in every crowd, one person can always step forward, not to carry the guilt of others, but to claim their own capacity. To say, "This is what I saw, this is what I value, this is where I choose not to vanish." Responsibility begins quietly and spreads the same way crowds do. When everyone is to blame, no one is. But when someone is willing to stay present, to remain visible, responsibility begins again. Not as punishment, but as possibility.